Well, good afternoon, everyone. We just finished off a meeting with the Prime Minister. My Finance Minister, Peter Bethlenfalvy, was in the meeting as well. I thought it was a positive meeting. We talked about the budget, which was positive. I told them we're light on the infrastructure, but I believe that's going to be coming. An announcement on steel and softwood lumber that affects Ontario in a big way. He'll be addressing that over the next week or so. So we look forward to discussing those projects. But it was good to get together. I recommended we do it more often. We do it frequently, making sure we're all speaking off the same song sheet. And we're gonna have a discussion more frequently than it's been a little while. But I want to thank the Prime Minister for traveling around the world and getting Canada out front and making sure that we diversify our trade with other countries. So it was a good, positive meeting.
Did he give you any updates on the talks with the U.S.? Essentially, there's no communication right now, in any sense that that's going to...
Yeah, I think behind the scenes there's always communication. Both teams are working hard to come up with a deal. They want to go sector by sector. That's fine. I don't disagree with that. But the key ones here are obviously the auto sector, steel sector, and softwood lumber manufacturing of all types. And I just feel that we have to focus on what we can do, what Canada can do, what Ontario can do to create the environment and the conditions to attract companies to come here and invest. And our number one selling feature, we have many, but our talent. We have the most talented people anywhere in the world, no matter if it's our energy, our nuclear sector, or manufacturing sector, tech sector, AI sector, and the list keeps going on. But that's what we need to do, is make sure that we create an environment, again, with lower taxes, less red tape, less regulations to attract companies.
Did he give you any indication, Premier, whether he thought the budget would pass? And do you hope the budget passes this afternoon or this evening?
Well, I hope so. I hope the budget passes. He didn't mention if he thought it was passing or not, but I'm pretty confident it's in the best interest of the country to make sure we pass this budget. We work together. It doesn't matter what political stripe you're from. We need to work as Team Canada right now, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Do you still disagree about reciprocal tariffs? Do you and him still opposed on House approach?
I do. I think especially in our steel sector. I know the Prime Minister will be meeting with the CEOs, I believe tomorrow, the steel sector. A couple things. We have to make sure that the threshold rate now on tariffs in the steel sector was 60%, and the quota now has been dropped to 50%. I'm going to simplify this. Most steel manufacturing countries around the world, their domestic use is 65 to 85%, meaning they use their own steel. Here in Canada, it's 35%. That's unacceptable. We need to drop the quota down to 25%, so anything over and on top of 25%, these countries get tariffed. I won't name the countries, but there's many of them. They slap a made in whatever country sticker on their steel, ship it over. We know it's cheap Chinese steel with the made in whatever Pakistan sticker on it, because they're one of the countries, and they dump cheap steel here in Ontario that hurts our steel industry. So that's one of many, a quick fix for our steel sector that we'd be looking for.
Did the Prime Minister talk at all about how he would like the provinces to be involved or not involved in the negotiations with the United States?
Well, he specifically said that we should be out there speaking. One comment was about speaking to China, and he encouraged it. And we work collaboratively with the federal government, no matter where we go around the world, and make sure that we, again, sing off the same song sheet as Team Canada. And that's what we're going to focus on.
Did he tell the premiers at all not to run any more commercials, as an example, or
no.
in any way to invest?
No, he didn't say anything along those lines. We just look forward to continuing to work with the federal government, getting our message out around the world. I want to thank Vic Fideli. I still don't know how he does it, my Minister of Economic Development. He's on a plane all over the world every day. It's absolutely exhausting. But every day he brings back new opportunities. I met with him this morning. He had 4 pages of multi-billion-dollar investments that want to invest in Ontario and in the people of Ontario, because we've created the climate for companies to come here by reducing the cost to reducing the cost of doing business here by $12 billion each and every single year. But we have to, again, get rid of the duplication from the federal government, no matter if it's the Ring of Fire. It's one window, one project, one decision, and I think he's heard that message, not just from me, but other premiers across our province.
On China, Premier, did the Prime Minister give you any indication that he's willing to back off on the 100% EV tariffs from China? Because that's what they've been asking in order to, drop their tariffs in Canada.
Well, we can never drop those tariffs on EV sector. We can't afford to have cheap EV vehicles shipped in from China, undermining our auto sector. And so 100%. I understand where my friends, both two good friends, Wab Canoe and our champion, as we call him, Scott Moe, because they won the Grey Cup last night. So congratulations, Scott. But I understand that's their issue. They're protecting what's the best interests of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. I'm protecting what's in the best interest of Ontario.
Premier, are you concerned about this OPP referral about yield digital solution?
No, not at all, because it just proves that our audit works, and then we did a forensic audit. We were the ones who did this, and we do it to multiple providers right across the province. If you're getting money from the province, we're going to audit you, and if we see something that doesn't seem right, we're going to do a forensic audit. The Deputy Minister, Attorney General, referred it. I don't direct the OPP. I don't refer stuff, but the Deputy Minister of the Attorney General sent it over to the OPP, and they'll deal with it like anything else.
Premier, when was the forensic audit asked for, requested?
Well, it automatically just falls in place. They have the right. The auditing team goes in there. If they see something not right, then they automatically will put a forensic audit in. And if they still see something that's not right, they'll refer it over to the Deputy Minister of the Attorney General, and he refers it over.
Aren't you concerned, though, that your Labour Minister intervened for an application for this company to get skills development funding? Doesn't that show a lack of it?
No, I can't say intervene, because what happens is the referrals. Okay, so the referrals come from the Ontario Public Service, and they do a great job, by the way. But what they don't see is when we're out there into the field, no matter if it's a jurisdiction or a sector that needs more help, be it tourism or hospitality or whatever it might be, then at the end of the day, the minister has to make a decision along with the cabinet as well.
But why give money to a company that is facing a forensic audit?
Right away, we froze funding right across the board. When we see something like that, we automatically freeze funding. We give out billions and billions of dollars, and anyone who gets it is going to be held accountable. And that's the reason the audit system worked. I'm actually glad that the audit system worked, and we moved to the next step of the forensic audit, and then we'll find out. But anyone who wants to mishandle any funds coming from the government, they're going to be audited and they're going to be held accountable.
Did Minister Marchini just have no idea this audit was going on?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Why are you supporting a minister who consistently gives millions of dollars to companies with the worst possible scores on the skills development?
Well, I don't say it's the worst possible scores. I don't look at them personally. That's going to be his decision as the minister. I hear some scores came back at 80% and other scores came back at 50%. But the public service, once again, don't have the opportunity to get in the field to talk to the frontline people. They don't see the projects coming down the tunnel, as we say. Excuse the pun about the 401 tunnel, but we got to do that too. Yeah, we'll get to that as well. But it shows that the 750,000 people that we've trained so far, and we'll hit a target of a million. It's working. We saw the jobs numbers last month. 65,000 new jobs were created across the country. 55,000 were here in Ontario. And keep in mind, folks, by all means, I'm not out here to say, hey, we got 55,000. No. I call it the roller coaster. You're up. We were up last month really well. You go down, you're up, you're down. It's the uncertainty that we're facing, and that's why we have to make sure that we focus on everything we can do to attract these companies to invest. And we have a tremendous amount of announcements come out. If there's one thing that we could do better is go out there and tell people, give them hope. There are jobs being created every single day here in Ontario, and that's what we need to do better. We need to get our message out there because, again, my Minister, Vic Fideli, he shows me just pages and pages. My comment back to Vic, let's get that message out there. But we also have to be cautious that we're in uncertain times right now, and affordability, people are feeling the pinch. So it's a happy balance between going out there and saying, yes, here's hope, we're getting more jobs, but never lose track that there's affordability issues right now. I'm glad I mentioned to the federal government, he did the GST on first-time home buyers, and my #1 champion behind me, this is where we kind of sit down, and he usually tries to beat me up all the time. He usually wins, but my argument to Peter and to the Prime Minister and all the premiers today, why don't we give it to everyone, not just first-time home buyers. Anyone who buys a new home, we have massive inventory out there, as you all know, and 0 + 0 = 0. That's my argument to the municipalities. If you aren't selling a home, you aren't getting any taxes. And so what you have to look at, if we allow everyone to buy a new home, look at the economy, new fridges, new stoves, new microwaves, new televisions, new carpets, new couches, new beds, new everything. That's my argument. That if we do that, then we'll be able to move forward. Now, in saying that, I will hand it over to the best finance minister ever. I want to thank Peter for doing a great job. He always has the best interests of Ontarians at heart. The guy is as tight as skin on a grape when it comes to spending taxpayers' money, and I'm grateful for that.
Premier, before you pass it on to the
Yes.
Treasurer, are you concerned that, I mean, the Labour Minister said in the House that he's made decisions that your office wasn't aware of. He was asked a yes or no question, and it was the Premier's office involved, and he said no. Are you concerned now that some decisions are happening, that he's making decisions that are being kept from your office? And
well,
the optics of that?
thank you for that. We run a whatever $230 billion a year corporation. I've never believed, even in my private sector, to micromanage each and every minister. I believe in holding our ministers accountable, like I'm being held accountable every day from the people of Ontario. You have to have faith in the ministers and management team per se, and that's kind of
So you're
my
not getting
thought
rid of
process.
him anytime soon, then?
No, I'm not getting rid of them. What we're doing is going to invest in workers for the future in every single sector, and there's great programs out there that have been very, very effective and have helped people get new jobs. Over 100,000 people from that program ended up getting gainful employment and a check at the end of the week that they can pay their rent, pay for food, and so on and so forth.
So you want to hear this come
Regrets at all about the way this money was handed out? You have no regrets at all about it?
Well, I never say no regrets. If there's a problem, that's why the audit system comes in place, and we're strong on the audit system. It shows that the audits work, and I encourage our whole team to go in there, the audit team, to audit every single dollar that's given to service providers across the board. But I'll hand it over to Peter. Yes, sir.
company
Last question.
This company is
I guess they don't want to talk to you, Peter.
We do.
Okay,
This company
thanks.
is calling on the government to release the audit so that the public can see it. Will you do that?
Well, again, right now it's in the hands of the OPP, and I want to see what they have to say, and then we'll be able to go from there. If there is anything serious there, they'll find it, and then I'll make my comments after. But right now, I can't make comments on it. But I'm glad that it ended up working. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. On the
That's
sex
all right.
offenders registry, your government's looking at maybe making more information public.
Yes.
What kind of information and what?
Well, it's absolutely critical. You have a sex offender and he's living next door or down the street, and you have a bunch of kids. You want to know about it. So we're going to make sure the sex offender registry is out there public. And sure, we're probably going to get shot down from the courts again, but I'll use every single tool to make sure we protect the victims over the sex offenders. It's a no-brainer. I'll use the notwithstanding clause in a heartbeat. If the courts, again, it's like the Supreme Court, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, said that sex offenders that push child pornography out should not get a mandatory 1-year sentence. Like, what is the Supreme Court thinking? Who are you in favor with? A bunch of diddlers that are out there pushing child porn and hanging out in neighborhoods and trying to track down young children? Or do you protect the victims? And unfortunately, the Supreme Court has chose to protect these nasty criminals, and just, they make me sick. I'd throw these child pornography people, I'd throw them in jail, throw away the key, they can rot in there, because nothing's more important to protect our communities, protect them from people like these. I can't even put the word out there. They're a bunch of diddlers. I can't stand them. They make me sick. And they need to go to jail, and that's it. And I'll do everything I can to make sure communities around Ontario know if there's a sex offender living next door or living by a school, they shouldn't even be out. They should be in jail. Let them rot in there. I can't stand those guys. They make me sick. But Finance Minister, over to you.
On that note,
Well, on that note, I feel like the Maytag repairman here. On housing, yeah, we have conversations all the time to find ways to build more houses. Obviously, the HST was a good one. The $4 billion in housing infrastructure plan, the HST rebate for building purpose-built rentals, and of course the Building Faster Fund. So we're always looking at ways to put more money back in people's pockets, businesses, and to find more ways to get homes built.
So why did you overrule the Premier then?
I didn't overrule.
To see it extended
No.
beyond first time?
Last question.
Yeah, we work together. We have good discussions, and we had the fall economic statement, which I think landed very well. I've heard from a lot of stakeholders, and we're going to work every day to make life more affordable for people and businesses in this province. And the Premier and I are going to continue working together 24/7 on that.
Minister, to the Premier's point, though, the Ontario Home Builders Association says that the amount that you were setting aside will only help some 5% of the market. That really isn't enough to be able to rejuvenate the housing market. Why wouldn't you want to, for a time-limited period, as the Premier said, extend it to everybody?
You're hired, Colin.
The home builders are very happy with the move. They have a lot of requests, and of course, we'll continue to work with all stakeholders. The good news is that this government has taken 100% effort in getting more homes built. Given the environment we're in, the global housing starts around the planet are down. We're not going to relent on working with all our stakeholders to get more homes built. And in fact, we made an announcement last Thursday at Toronto Metropolitan University for another 1,400 student residences. So there's all types of houses and residents and beds to get built in this province, and we're not going to relent. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it.
I don't think anybody else. Housing starts, Minister.